Hi, I'm Andra and I'm a Prosper You stylist. This is my beautiful model Linnea. Linnea has just a little bit of wacky texture to her hair naturally. Kind of gets a little wavy, gets a little curly. So today we're going to be doing a smooth blow dry on her using our smoothing brush. So the smoothing brush is a great brush, used a lot in France, great for updos, great for smoothing out the hair, polishing the cuticle. It has both nylon and first cut boar bristles. The boar bristles really help smooth and polish the hair, while the nylon bristles keep the hair going in the direction we're wanting them to go. Before we begin this blow dry, I am going to add a little bit of product. I don't want to take away all of our lift at the root, so for that reason, I'll start with the foam. I'm going to direct this at the root, and we're going to just comb that in. Roots to ends. We focus it on the root so that way it holds our shape so we can get a little bit of lift, a little bit of bend, but it also does the same thing through the end, so it just adds a little extra strength to help smooth down our style. I'm also going to use a light hold gel. I love working with gels when I do blow dries. Adds just a nice bend to the hair, really helps polish and keep the cuticle down, but it doesn't weigh the hair down and it doesn't get hard or crunchy. So I'm using just a pump, working it through my mids and ends. Okay, so before we begin, our techniques we're going to use in this blow dry will be flat wrapping, leafing, and beveling. I do want to start with a power dry, focusing at my roots, starting to really enforce that lift, pulling them all up and away from their point of origin, and then we'll go into our flat wrap. For this, I'm going to use a blow dryer with a concentrator. Now I only want to power dry until I reach the point of conversion. That's when the hair is not too wet, but not too dry. I really like using the blow dryer with a concentrator while working because it helps direct and concentrate the airflow exactly where I want it. When you power dry, you want to work in clean sections, making sure you hit every area. For this style, my conversion point is about 20% dry, and because of my model's hair texture, I don't want to over dry the hair during the power dry. That'll make it difficult to achieve my finished look. Now that I've reached the conversion point, I'm starting my flat wrap. I start with one side, working the hairline area first by directing the hair up and away from the face to control any growth directions. After I dry this area, I begin at the front hairline and I work in half-inch sections directing the hair forward. With the flat wrap, we're focusing only on the first 3 inches of the hair. I continue this technique until I've reached the opposite side, and then repeat this technique until you reach your original starting point. You want to make sure that the first 3 inches are completely dry before moving on. So I wanted to make sure that I worked out any kinks along that hairline first, and then through these mids, we'll take care of that with our next step. Just so we can work really super clean, I want to take a small section from parietal to parietal, just creating a nice U. I know that that's going to be my last section, and that's also going to be the section that I elevate the most, so we can still get a little lift. So as I work now, I'm going to be directing the hair forward and down. Again, we're always following our elevation based on where the hair is lying on the head. So close to the ear here, and also below the occipital, we're wanting to keep our elevation low, moving up as we move up the head. Just so I can work neat and very clean, I'm going to section as I go with another clip. Use 2 fingers to gather the hair and place it in the brush. Follow the brush with the blow dryer down the hair strand, slightly beveling the ends by turning the brush. Use your thumb to create more tension in the hair. This is especially important when wanting to tame curl and frizz. The nylon bristles separate the hair, and the tension placed on the hair allows better penetration and more polish from the boar bristles. Triple check to make sure the root area is 100% dry before you move on to the mids and ends. If this area is not completely dry first, that moisture will move down the hair strands, making our glossy ends fatten up and frizz. In the top section, work to the apex, directing the hair back, remembering to increase your elevation and create height. Once you reach the apex, begin working your remaining sections starting at the front hairline. Keep in mind what the desired end result is to select the direction you dry the hair. Alright, well it takes a little bit of time, but it's definitely worth it when your end result is as beautiful as this is, and if you have a model this good looking too. So we'll give you a final spin and then we'll recap. So everything's nice and smooth. We're still able to get some root lift, especially in the top and the crown areas of the hair, because we don't want it to look flat, even though we want a very sleek and straight style. The smoothing brush is great for updos, smoothing the hair, polishing the cuticle, and preventing frizz. It is made up of nylon and first-cut boar bristles. The boar bristles smooth and polish the hair, while the nylon bristles keep the hair going where you want it to go. It's not necessarily used to create a flat shape. The amount of body you will have in the hair greatly depends on the tension and elevation you place on the hair. The concentrator helps direct and focus the airflow exactly where you want it. Apply a volumizing foam at the root area and use a wide tooth comb to comb through the roots to ends for even distribution. Apply a light hold gel to the mids and ends to polish and keep the cuticle down. Use your fingers to lift the hair at the base and focus your blow dryer at the root area only. Work in clean sections all around the head. You will power dry to different points depending on the client's texture and density. Our conversion point for this style is 20% dry. During flat wrapping, we want to focus on the first 3 inches of hair. Flat wrap starting in the temple area on one side of the head, pushing hair forward and working in half-inch subsections around the head shape, targeting the root area in order to allow the hair to best fall in its natural position. Repeat this process when you reach the other side. Take a horseshoe section from parietal to parietal. Keep your elevation low at the bottom hairline and increase your elevation as you work towards the top of the head to create fullness and volume. Start by clipping any extra hair out of the way, being sure not to twist the hair when you clip it. Gather the hair with your fingers and place it in the brush. Follow the brush with the blow dryer, directing the air towards the ends. Use your thumb to create more tension in order to smooth out any unwanted texture if needed. Slightly bevel the ends by turning the brush for a natural, soft look. In the top horseshoe, work from the crown to the apex with high elevation. Move to the front hairline and work towards the apex. Alright, so this is our finished look. And that's Style with Knowledge.